Welcome back to another episode of the Natty Teacher. I am, of course, your host, the Natty Teacher. We're a couple minutes away from the gym here. It's a little after 3 o'clock. Headed over there. We got our second push session of the week. Push B session. So I'm going to hop into the gym, do my mobility work, a little bit of band work, a little bit of dumbbell work, essentially just for reference here. I feel like I say that, especially in really in most of my videos, but I feel like I say talk about mobility work. For my upper body, a lot of it is the same. We usually grab some bands, kind of just do some basic mobility stuff just to get a little bit loose. That's the best way I can describe it. Just to get a little bit of blood flow going. Obviously, I like to move around as a teacher. I don't just sit at my desk all day. I like to be up and move, so that kind of helps. But just to feel a little stiff, just to get everything nice and filled with a little bit of blood. And then usually I'll go grab maybe some 10-pound dumbbells. You can go a little heavier if you want. I wouldn't suggest anything super heavy. Do a couple curl variations, some side lateral variations, maybe something for the rear delts, stuff like that. And then just some rotator cuff with the rotator cuff movements with the dumbbells. That's about it, man. That's really about it. So it's nothing super crazy. I would say it takes 3 to 5 minutes at the most, and it is definitely worth it, especially for the long term, okay? Because remember, bodybuilding is absolutely a marathon, not a sprint. You got to think long term when you're thinking of, your health. Remember, if your knees are bugging you, it means it's probably something you got to address. Don't just put that off, okay? Your joints, everybody thinks of the muscles. But think of the joints, think of the tendons, think of everything else around the muscles, including the muscles, and go from there, okay? Anyways, top set of some plate-loaded incline press will be coming at you right about now. As promised, incline plate-loaded press. So you'll see here, really getting that nice convergence at the top, bringing the weight down, sitting in that hole for a moment right here, and then coming back up and out hard. Felt really good. Emphasized a really, really nice deep stretch at the bottom. Keeping that chest up, driving the chest towards the ceiling. Great cue from the man, the myth, the legend himself, Jared Feather, of course, over there at RP. Can apply to so many different movements, but felt really good. Was able to add 10 pounds onto last week. And still keep form nice and tight. Keep that technique just right. This was our top set here. So this is 4 plates, a quarter, and a 5 on there. Did that for a top set of 9. And then we dropped down to 4 plates and a 5 and hit that for 10. So that was an improvement from last week as well because we'd done a rest pause for 10. So it was just 10 straight. It was awesome. Then a flat machine press. Again, you can see that I have those elbows essentially aligned with the lower pec and just driving those elbows straight back, sitting in that stretch position here, and pushing out hard. So get a nice deep stretch, getting those chest fibers really, really stretched out, and then get that nice peak contraction at the end there. Again, for any of these pressing movements here, I like to keep them in that 8 to 12 rep range. This felt, again, 5 pounds heavier from last week, and in that hit it for 9. Hit it for 9. So that was cool. Exactly where I would want to be with that. So that is awesome. Then we backed off the weight and did a back off set for, I believe, 10, which was also 5 pounds heavier from last week. So I love to see it. Then we have some just regular, good old cable flies. The gym wasn't super busy yet at this point, so I was able to get on here and actually do cable flies. Usually, if there is quite a few people at the gym, I try not to use it because this is the only cable tower that we got. So we're using 60 pounds per hand here. Nothing super crazy, not super light, but not super heavy either. Might actually have to readjust this weight a little bit. But what I like to do is I really like to drive my chest forward. So when I bring my hands out like that, I'm actually leaning forward into the weight ever so slightly and then driving my hands together. So I try to keep them as straight as possible. You'll see here as I get into my last couple reps, I do have a slight bend in the arms just to push out that last little bit. But it felt really good. Again, kind of emphasizing the upper chest here with where our hand placement is, kind of driving my hands just below my chin and really getting that nice squeeze in the upper chest. But 2 working sets here, again, in that 10 to 15 rep range, I believe would be ideal for a cable fly type movement. A little higher, a little lower ain't going to kill you. But I found, at least for me, that rep range seems to be pretty solid. Then This is an exercise I did before cable flies last week, but actually still felt really strong on this. So this is just a machine neutral grip shoulder press here. So really all we're trying to do is really control that weight on the way down, sit in that bottom for at least a moment, and then come back out hard. So right here, we're going to sit there, pause at the bottom. We don't have to do this crazy hard pause where we sit there for 5 seconds, but we can get a nice soft pause like that right there, coming to a complete stop, at least for a moment, and then driving back up. So we're not just driving our elbows down into the hole and then just jerking the weight back up. We are driving the elbows down and then sitting in there for a moment and pushing back up. I think my last rep I did like a really hard pause here. Yeah, like I think that was the last one, yeah. So grinded that out. This is actually my second working set. I'd already done a top set of 10 here. Did a follow-up set of 9, so kept, and again, 5 pounds heavier than last week, so cool. Then some cuff side laterals. You'll see here that I'm not bringing my arm up quite as much, which is really, really good. Was able to keep a lot more tension on the side delts, so that's exactly what we want. We're bringing the arm essentially up to parallel here, and then pausing at the top in this moment right here, and getting a ton of side delt recruitment and stimulus from that. So it felt really, really good. I felt a lot better than what I was doing in the past. I felt like, it sounds weird. You'd think that like going way above parallel would be like, oh, it's got to be even more side delt progress and it's more side delt gains if you're going way above parallel. Well, the problem is you're losing a lot of tension in the actual side delt itself when you go way, way above, depending on how far above you go. So I found coming to parallel like that seemed to work really, really well for me. I would highly recommend it. Again, using a cuff or a handle, both are going to be great. The cuff, I just don't have to use my grip whatsoever, so the grip can't be a limiting factor to how well I'm able to blast my delts. So we did 3 working sets here using 40 pounds on there and kept each of those sets in between that 8 and 12 rep range. Then some tricep push downs here. So again, you guys know how it is, man. We are driving those hands up towards the chest, really pushing those elbows back, loading those triceps up as much as we can and pushing down hard and sitting in the bottom right there just for at least a brief moment, okay? Really, really emphasize that stretch, get that nice hard push on the way down. Again, added 10 pounds from last week and was able to keep all 3 of those sets. I believe all 3 of them were in that like 10 to 15 rep range. So that was cool. It was like 10 to 13 to be exact. So it's exactly where we want to be. Felt nice and strong and was able to get a ton of really good stimulus in the triceps from this particular push down movement. Felt awesome, man. So yeah, just grind it out. Yeah, do it, get it. Yeah. Then, one I've been doing a little bit more of lately, some overhead extensions. So I did mix up the grips. I don't know why. Last week, I thought I did actually use this V-bar for this overhead extension, but I did not. And you'll notice here too, I still had my hat on backwards like a dummy. I needed to flip that bad boy around, which I did for the last 2 sets. So you'll see it kind of like bumps into the lid of my hat. Every single time. It was annoying. It was frustrating me. But the 3 working sets here, again, keeping everything in that 10 to 15 rep range. Felt really, really good. Felt nice and strong. Hey, man, I ain't got no complaints with it. It was exactly what I would have wanted out of this movement. I actually really enjoy this one. It feels really, really good. Always end with a nice, strong tricep pump there. And I talk about it in the outro. I did not film my calf work. I did 6 working sets of calves between 2 exercises and 3 working sets of rope crunches. Push B session in the books. Great freaking stuff, man. Felt awesome. Felt nice and strong. Felt locked in. Just an awesome workout, man. Just an awesome freaking workout. It was anything and everything you would want from a nice solid push workout. For sure. So, yeah, I don't have a whole lot to say. That's all I have to say about that. Forrest Gump reference. Regardless, make sure you tune in tomorrow for our pull B session, second pull session of the week. Definitely the back portion of that workout tomorrow is more lat bias, more focused on really blasting those lats. And we'll have some rear delt work, of course, and some bicep work. So nice wide array of training for you tomorrow. Already got my cardio in. As a reminder, I'm doing my cardio Monday through Friday now, fasted in the morning. So that's cool. That's been nice to have that done. So yeah, make sure you like and share the video. Drop a comment if you have any questions or any feedback about the video, about just anything. Got your back. I'll hook you up with to the best of my ability, that is. Make sure you subscribe. Really helps the channel, guys. It really, really does. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Unless you don't want to see this ugly mug, then I probably wouldn't, because if you subscribe, I post every day, so you'd be seeing a lot of me. But hopefully you do. Hopefully you do. It's up to you. Anyways, yeah. Again, make sure you catch that poll session tomorrow. Thank you for watching this video today. But for today, I am the Natty teacher, and school is out. And this road to Natty Pro is out. I'll catch you on the flippity flop. Terrible. Terrible.